hard gainer I talk to thinks they need some type of secret supplement to start growing. Every month it's a new supplement, and 6 months later they still look the same. Half a year later, nothing has changed. The truth is, 90% of supplements out there are absolute garbage and super overpriced, overhyped, and usually empty your pockets. But here's the good news. There are a few that do actually work. Not because some influencer or fitness guru said so, but because science and time have proved it over and over again. And if you are a suffering hard gainer, someone who struggles to gain muscle no matter how hard you train, these are the 3 supplements that will actually move the needle and make a difference. They've been around for decades. They've built Olympic athletes, fighters, and even natural lifters such as myself and my clients. And they still outperform 99% of the new junk on the market today. So we're gonna get into creatine monohydrate. This is the OG of supplements, and I'm gonna go over the history a little bit so you guys can know a little bit about it. Creatine was discovered in 1832 by French chemist Michel Eugène Chevreul, which I don't know if I said it right or if I butchered it, who isolated it from meat and named it after the Greek word kreas. In Greek, kreas, creatine, creatine in English. By the late 1800s, scientists realized that creatine played a big role in muscle tissue and energy metabolism. In 1912, researchers Otto Follen and Willy Glover Dennis observed that creatine supplementation increased muscle creatine stores in humans, which was the first hint of its performance-enhancing potential. Now we're going to modern research. In the 1920s up until the 1990s, during the 1920s to 30s, scientists like Shenoutan began exploring creatine's link to muscle energy through the phosphocreatine system, establishing its importance in ATP regeneration. However, practical supplementation didn't become mainstream until the 1990s, when studies, notably by Dr. Eric Hultman and Roger Harris, demonstrated that oral creatine monohydrate could drastically increase intramuscular creatine stores and improve strength and sprint performance. In the 1992 Barcelona Olympics marked creatine's breakthrough into public consciousness, as several Olympic sprinters reportedly used it. Throughout the 1990s up until the 2000s, creatine became the most researched and trusted ergogenic aid, shown to improve high-intensity performance, lean mass, and recovery safely. Today, creatine monohydrate remains literally the gold standard, safe and expensive, and backed by over 1,000 studies. And this is one of the only supplements that you can find over 1,000 studies, and it's always working. And the good thing about creatine, you do not need to exercise to reap its benefits. There's also cognitive benefits. They started using it on people with cognitive decline such as Alzheimer's and dementia, and they've seen that it does wonders for memory recall. HMB. HMB is a metabolite of the amino acid leucine, discovered in the 1950s, but its physiological role wasn't well understood. Early animal studies in the 1970s showed that HMB might reduce muscle breakdown and improve nitrogen balance, especially under stress or illness. In the 1980s, Dr. Steven Nissen at Iowa State University began investigating HMB's effects on livestock and later on humans. By the early 1990s, Nissen and his team conducted human trials showing that HMB supplementation could reduce muscle damage markers and increase strength and muscle mass in untrained individuals. Now imagine if you're training, if you're an athlete, right? How much of a benefit HMB is going to provide to you. The results led to the commercialization of HMB in 1995, marketed primarily by Metabolic Technologies Inc., MIT. HMB gained attention in the mid-1990s, especially in bodybuilding and endurance sports circles. However, results across studies were mixed. Beginners often saw benefits, while trained athletes experienced marginal effects. Later research clarified that HMB, especially the free acid form, can reduce muscle protein breakdown and improve recovery, but only under certain conditions such as high training stress, caloric deficit, or aging. Today, HMB is seen as a niche recovery and anti-catabolic supplement, useful for muscle preservation but not as universally potent as creatine. With the anti-catabolic effect being said, this means if you're fasting, because nowadays everyone is fasting, fasting is healthy, you should be fasting, intermittent fasting that is, super healthy for you, for your cells, for regenerating new muscle tissue, new organ tissue. It's good in general. If you are fasting, HMB is an amazing supplement to include in your routine. Now to the bread and butter, Magnesium Bisglycinate. Magnesium itself was discovered by Sir Humphrey Davy in 1808, who isolated it from magnesium oxide. For decades, various magnesium salts such as oxide, sulfate, citrate, etc. were used medically, primarily as laxatives or for treating deficiency. The emergence of chelated forms. The concept of chelated minerals, binding minerals to amino acids to improve absorption, was popularized by Albion Laboratories in the 1970s and 80s. This means they started to create forms which your body can readily absorb, and made the supplements more gentle on your stomach as well. The goal was to enhance bioavailability by mimicking how minerals are naturally bound to amino acids in food. Magnesium bisglycinate, or glycinate, which is magnesium bound to two glycine molecules, was developed during this period to reduce gastrointestinal distress and improve absorption efficiency. Over time, magnesium bisglycinate became widely recognized as a superior form for sleep, relaxation, and recovery, particularly among athletes and individuals under high stress. And who doesn't have high stress in today's society? Whether you have a kids, work, you're not sleeping properly, sleep is the best supplement on the planet. It increases your HGH, your testosterone, and it helps you recover overall, and it also detoxes your brain, which is called the glymphatic system. The glymphatic system is a system that cleans out, literally brain washes your brain. It cleanses your brain. So it helps you not have dementia, not have Alzheimer's, not have mental decline, not feel depressed. So sleep is literally the most important supplement, but because it's free, people undermine it. So magnesium is one of those things that everyone, not even just Hardgainers, everyone should be taking Magnesium Bisglycinate. Studies have shown it's superior because it's more bioavailable compared to oxide or citrate or a few other forms on the market. And it's also more gentle on the digestive system. And today, it's literally one of the most recommended magnesium forms in functional medicine, in sleep optimization, and in sports recovery circles. It's often paired with zinc or taurine. Taurine is also a well-known amino acid which helps calm your nervous system down. And zinc is also something very good to take, but you can overdose on it if you do not balance your copper. So I can make another video on zinc itself because zinc in itself is a powerhouse. But these three supplements, Creatine Monohydrate, HMB, and Magnesium Bisglycinate, are the only ones you need to improve muscle growth and to improve overall health, because creatine, like we said, not only good for muscles, good for brain. HMB mostly focused on muscle growth and recovery, and magnesium is doing over 400 or 500 actions in your body. Don't quote me on the number, but it does a lot. Magnesium just doesn't help you relax, but you lose magnesium just from stressing, from sweating, from not sleeping correct. So you need magnesium. So these three supplements I would focus on as a hard gainer to gain muscle and see actual results and not waste my fucking money. If you have any other fitness related questions or need guidance, you can always message me on Instagram, Boxing Muscle Official. I respond with voice notes. The best fucking coach on the market. Let's get it.